Brett Allen here. Thanks everybody for watching and listening, taking out a part of your day to check out the show, The Brett Allen Show. Head over to brettallenshow.com, where you can catch all our latest episodes, video clips, everything. Be sure to follow and subscribe. You know, all the things. We could be here forever plugging, but we're here to talk about a brand new film, Sweetwater, which just released yesterday. My God, this is a great film. We're talking to one of the stars, Everett Osborne, who portrays NBA legend Nathaniel Sweetwater Clifton. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Brett, pleasure being here.
Well, this is a great film, and I love sports movies, period, but I really like basketball films. And you take to the screen to play an iconic NBA legend, but you also have a background in sports yourself. So I'm very curious, obviously, you know, having the experience and then playing this character, what attracted you to the project initially, Everett?
Well, what attracted to me, I mean, just to be quite frankly with you, Brett, I'm just coming home seeing the audition on my table of lead starring role of the first African-American to sign an NBA contract was crazy. Because I play professional basketball, obviously I would love the game of basketball, but I had no idea who he even was. So that was something that was very eye-opening for me to just dive into a world of a character, of a real human being that I knew nothing about.
Yes, and this is such a great story. And I was not familiar myself, but having seen the film and just doing research before chatting with you, I think his career was just purely iconic, right? I mean, just the things that he was able to do. And my question would be, once you got to know this character and learned about him, well, learned about the individual, but then started delving into the character, what was your process to begin to prepare?
Well, Brett, as far as the preparation goes, I mean, first off, the golden rule as the actor is to always tell the truth, right? So I got to start there. And second off, I mean, it starts with stillness, to be truthful with you. I have to be still. That's part of my process. I can't have any of my tendencies of Everett step into the world of Sweetwater. Even if we both played basketball at a high level, right? That's the most like enticing thing to do. Oh, I play basketball, he plays basketball. Easy. No. It's two different time zones, two different experiences, circumstances these human beings are under. So I had to put myself to the side, had to surrender, and just step into a new world. Because it is a real human being, there was some research available. I could look up via Google books, podcasts, whatever it may be. I'm not podcasts, but books or websites, videos, right? I found a lot of great things. I mean, if you look up, you can find Sweetwater when he's an older man driving a cab later on in his 50s, 60s, right? And you can see him talk about life back then. So a lot of that stuff was very helpful. Just understanding his heart of the human, his mind, what he cared for, maybe some vulnerable spots that he wishes he could have changed from back then. And seeing just where his frame of mind was during that time actually helped. Even taking some clips from him actually playing for the Harlem Globetrotters and the New York Knicks, even 3 or 4 seconds, I'll pause it. I'll see how he interacted with teammates. I'll see his mannerisms. I'll see his behavior. And from there, of that human behavior, I was able to just find a world of just specifics. Right? I mean, the universal stems from the specific. So if you could just focus on a couple things and you're still enough, it'll start speaking to you and you'll find out some clues.
Yes, he had a very iconic career. I do remember him from the Globetrotters. I mean, he was like one of they just all looked like they had so much fun. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Globetrotters play, but they just are hilarious. It's always against, I believe, the Washington Generals. They always lose, and it's kind of the shtick of the thing. So you did play sports at a very high level. You had a very great career in that facet, but where did acting become a part of that, and what made that interesting to you and decide that you wanted to pursue that?
I mean, to be honest, I've been acting since the age of 4. I started
Yeah,
in
I mean, you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, so I've been acting since I was a child, right? But basketball was my main focus. But I've never stopped like doing plays. I've always stayed around the art without even really realizing it. I studied psychology, right? I mean, I loved human behavior. But once, honestly, just to be honest, bro, once I was finished playing professional basketball in Australia, actually before I was finished, I was forced to come home because of COVID.
Yeah.
So the world shut down. I was forced to come home. And from there, I was like, okay, what do I have around me? Right. And I mean, I've always loved this art. And I just went back to home. I mean, so I surrendered a part of myself. I really wanted to play basketball, but I couldn't. Right. So I put that on pause. And when I surrendered that aspect to myself, I just found what was there all along, which is my deep purpose. And that's something that the film talks about. I mean, Sweetwater had an understanding about a higher purpose, right? And surrendering yourself for the greater good. I mean, we're talking about a human being that opened up the door, that not was only was the first African American to sign an NBA contract, but he also changed the way the game was being played. So he went through a lot of oppression and defeat, right? Just so others can triumph. I mean, we have guys like Michael Jordan that said there's no Sweetwater. I mean, there's no Michael Jordan without Sweetwater, right? I
Hmm.
mean, we guys quoting these real things. So, I mean, those are some similarities and through lines of Sweetwater's life and mine, of just having to surrender oneself for the greater good, for deeper purpose that's in each and every human being. And that's how I found the art. I mean, that's how I really delved into my love for acting, was just that stillness, taking time and realizing, hey, this has been here all along. This is me. I have so many great stories to tell, and what an honor to start off telling the story of Nathaniel Sweetwater Clifton and about the man who changed the game. So it's just a blessing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great work. And I know you've had a lot of different opportunities throughout your life, a lot of characters you've played, but this one in particular, being such a front facing person and a sports figure, I'm very curious to know one last question. When you play this character and you get to know him and you embody this for whatever period of time it takes to film, are there certain facets of his life that now become a part of your life that you take and go, okay, this is something that I can apply, maybe adopt as just personal habits as you continue your journey through this industry of acting?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, as human beings, we're all interdependent upon each other, right?
Hmm.
So one person affects the other. So just connecting with Sweetwater and telling this story, just the value that he had of just the human being. I mean, we're talking about a guy that fought in the war. He fought for freedom. He fought for humanity. He fought for justice for all. So just
Hmm.
having that servant mentality as a leader, thinking about the other first, is something I always carry with me. I mean, that's something that was through this film. I mean, we have an all-star cast, right? Martin Gigi directed it, Kevin Pollak, Carrie Ellis, Jeremy Piven, Richard Dreyfuss. These are all great giants. But even though they're giants, they still served. I mean, everyone brought love to this moment to push the story forward, to tell world history. So that's something that I can take from Sweetwater. And to be honest, man, we're all living a Sweetwater story. We're all pushing past boundaries and obstacles, reaching for a higher version of ourselves and needing each other to do that. I mean, one person hitting their potential inspires the other to do the same. So that's something I'll carry with me forever.
Wonderful. Well, the film is Sweetwater, available in theaters now. It released yesterday. Get off the couch, go watch a good movie that will inspire you and encourage you, and really just having you walk away, I feel like, a better human being, watching what life is about. We've been chatting with the star himself, Everett Osborne. Man, your career has just taken off phenomenally, and thank you for taking the time to hang out. Thank you to your team. And I appreciate your time, Everett. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Brad, it's been a pleasure, man. April 14th, get your popcorn and I hope you enjoy the film.
Absolutely. Thank you.